All right, if you know me by now, I love excuses to buy new tools. And so that's what I've done. And we're going to learn about this together right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver Man. And when I took apart the old Deere carburetor the other day, viewer Kenny said he never had to do any of the drilling or anything. He just always put the carburetors in an ultrasonic parts cleaner. And I had seen these things for years and I thought, oh, that's a bunch of nonsense. And, you know, that's not going to work. And if it had just been the carburetor I was working on, I probably would have just not worried about this. But then we tackled that advertising clock. And I have this clockwork, which is not freed up. It's stuck. And being that there's 50,000 gears in there, I'd rather not disturb and grind this apart. I have also read where if you put the clock movements in ultrasonic parts cleaners, that will free them up and they'll work like new. So I thought, hey, why not try the Chinesium parts cleaner? So that's what I did. I bought it a while ago and I know nothing about them. I got the bigger one because I was thinking, you know, carburetors and stuff like that. So we're going to get this out of here and then see what we have to do. So I don't know why I'm worried about keeping it nice. I mean, just rip it open if it's not going to play nice. There we go. It's like Christmas morning. All right. Normally I would say instructions, who cares? But being as that this looks like it heats up to over 100 degrees and it's full of water and electricity, it would probably be good to at least hit some of the highlights here. Such as, product is not a toy. Yeah, we're going to use it inappropriately, but, you know, at least we read that first. Use water-based non-corrosive cleaning solutions. Okay, so without having read any instructions, they had this little job on the on the shelf next to this thing, and that's what it is for, is the mixer, the stuff you put in there, but I have no idea yet what that's like. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it here in a minute. That's probably enough safety. We'll skip on. Yeah, I can probably figure all that out on my own without reading this, so that's great. Timer, temperature, cleaner switch. What? Okay, that begins the cycle. Timer button, power button, temperature button, drain, obviously. All right, setup instructions. Only use on a flat surface, okay? Add cleaning solution to bath. Do not fill more than 2/3 full. That is good to know. Place objects to be cleaned in basket. Do not clean multiple objects at one time. Using many objects in the tank will cause them to bang against each other, damaging the articles being cleaned in the tank. Well, now what do we mean by that? Because I was going to put in a whole basket full of carburetor pieces, you know, that are made of soft brass, so I don't know why that wouldn't work, but I don't know what's going to happen. I thought it was just going to kind of cook in there. I didn't know it was going to get violent. Plug in ultrasonic cleaner, press power button to clean on, to adjust temperature, press temp button, adjust increments up to 176 degrees. To start or stop temperature control, press the heating switch. So you have to turn the heating on and the cleaning, huh? Okay, I don't really get that. General use. Begin cleaning cycle by pressing cleaner switch. Allow cleaning cycle to run for a lot of time. When cleaner reaches 0, press cleaning switch to end cycle. If timer reaches 0 and no buttons are pressed, the heater will switch on and off to maintain target temperature. Remove items from bath using tongs, which we don't have, so we're just gonna figure that out as we get there. Running more than one cleaning cycle. Oh, if running more than one cleaning cycle, allow 20-minute rest period. That's good to know. After use, drain, fill bath with water and run a short cleaning cycle to flush remaining cleaning solution out. Boy, there's a lot of instructions here for something I was just gonna dump in some magic powder and go. But we'll figure it out, you know? What do we know? Let's unbox it. This one is at least stainless steel, which is nice because if it doesn't work, we can always scrap it and get 23 cents. All right, ain't that a thing of beauty? Central Machinery. They're very proud of it. It's just like a little stainless steel bathtub, I guess. Okay, cord and basket included. I don't see any reason. I'm going to take those screw things off because that might melt. Those little plastic jobs. But what I'm saying is, I don't see any reason why a guy couldn't put a bunch of small pieces in here in the basket. I mean, it's not going to move with the, you know, that's going to kind of stay where I put it. And I think if I use my wits about me, I can probably come up with some stuff. Maybe the first go round I won't do really dirty things. I'll do some, you know, stuff like this. Similar type items that maybe we can just try out to see if they get any cleaner or not, you know. Some brass. That, I don't know that we need separately, but what else? We'll put this in there. We could put that in there, maybe. But they'll bump into each other. We can't have them bump into each other. Cause damage. I mean, I don't understand that. This could go in there, maybe. I mean, none of that's gonna float, right? Although the less stuff we put in there, the better it would potentially clean because there wouldn't be as much stuff. I think we'll start with that first. So I'm going to take this basket out. I'm going to fill this with water, and then we will see about the appropriate amount of magical stuff to put in. All right. So we've got that. We've got our basket. We've got some pieces in there, which consequently are not all the way covered with. So that ain't gonna work. Oh, I forgot to take the little, like what I said I was gonna do. Now the part that is important is covered in water. Plus this might give us some comparison with that little nub sticking out of there. It doesn't get cleaned. So now, I need to read instructions on this. Fill tank with warm water. Add 1/4 teaspoon cleaning powder. 1/4 teaspoon? That is not a lot. I'm going to see if I can find a plastic spoon instead of using one that I eat my cereal with, because that probably wouldn't be the greatest. Alright. I did not find a spoon. I don't know why you're all shocked. But I did find a spork. So surely, maybe a little more than 1/4 spork is appropriate. It would probably make sense if I had... I feel like I'm making something illegal doing this. Is that 1/4 of a spork? I feel like there should be more than that in there. Sure, that's way more than what it needs. But I don't often make things in my garage like this, so some of you have the upper hand on me on that one. You have a lot more practice. Now, it's doing all kinds of goofy things on the camera, but it's not that way in real life. Okay, so I want to go... I think we got to cook this, don't we? No, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Why does it go that way? I thought it went up to 176 degrees. And then we turned on the... I don't understand that, but we might have to read up on that. Oh, I know why. Because timer... I think we need to go at least 30 minutes. Okay, it's heating. Wonder how quick it heats. I forgot already what we're supposed to do. We turn the heat on and then we push the go button. But let's find out why. Okay. Add cleaning solution, we did that. Place objects in basket, we did that. Plug ultrasonic cleaner in, press power button to turn cleaner on. We didn't do that, it automatically came on when I plugged it in. Adjust temperature. It's only a two number display. So maybe it's interesting. Let's just press go. Wow. What's happening? More stuff is happening than I thought. It's like bubbling, fizzing. Okay, we're just gonna leave it go. I'm not understanding that temperature switch though. Why it only, how they expect that you're gonna have it to 176 if you don't know what's happening. I mean, what I'm saying is you can't, it's only two positions. Well, we're gonna let this cook and see what happens, because I got no idea if I'm doing it right or not. I don't know why, other than, like I said, maybe every time it looped from 80, maybe that added another, you know, you were supposed to do some math and keep track and add. Interesting. It's like the crock pot. I keep wanting to look at the lid and see what's going on, you know? Maybe 80 is code for 176 somehow. I don't know. Things are happening. Probably breathing in fumes and noxious gas, but we'll leave it alone and bring you back in a little bit. All right, we're at the halfway point. Let's peek in at the noxious gas. Things are happening. Some of this stuff looks like it's kind of shiny, so we'll see. I have no idea what I'm doing, or whether this is safe or not, or foolish, or who knows. But we're gonna try it. So 15 more minutes. I've wasted my life and more time on foolish things, more than this. So it's worth trying, and that's what we're gonna do. Oh, I passed a brainstone and I figured something out. We're gonna have to look at the old Google machine here to see if I'm right, but I bet the temperature is in foreign temperature, like the, what do you call it, Celsius. So, yeah, because this was made in Chinesia, so that would make sense. So let's see. Let's type in to this, 176 Fahrenheit is 80 degrees Celsius. Okay. We figured that out, so that makes sense. Crazy rest of the world using different temperature than Americans. Ridiculous. All right, it just finished up. So we are going to now take out that, I'm going to just take out that clock works and see if it's better. I got a little bucket of water back there to dunk it in first, because I don't know if that stuff's bad for you or not that's in there. And it's hot. I don't know why I wouldn't think that. but it is supposed to stay at temperature for a good while. Now, I feel like improvement was made on this. Let's shut the heat off. But it's still not turning. Or is it? It is. It is turning now. How about that? I think it could be a little bit better, as I am thinking that most of the trouble is right under this collar, where this brass and aluminum are meeting each other. So what I'm thinking of doing is probably running another cycle with it. It would probably work like this, but I'm just thinking that maybe turning easier would be better. There we go. Go the other way. It does turn though. And this rod that I'm turning is actually like the setter rod. And maybe what I need to do is just keep doing this a while, working it back and forth. And then put it in the bath again. I think we got her licked though, because it would not budge before. And we got her now, I think. So I'm going to say that that was a pretty good success there. However, I do think it would benefit from another go. Let's have a look at some of our other treasures that we put in there. In this burning hot basket. Let's see here. Let's just dunk that in there. There is one of the needles. It wasn't really dirty before. It's got a little bit of stuff on it. Mainly overspray paint. And it may be that I don't know that see, like here it cooked that, and you can just peel that off. I don't know that a quarter of a teaspoon is enough of the juice. I've seen videos of guys, they just dunk stuff in. So I'm not sure on that. We may have to revisit that idea. This, I think it shined it up a little bit. It's a lot brighter looking, as it did to this, it appears. Verdict's out on that. That had some junk in it, but let's see here. It started cleaning that up really good. So I'm thinking more go. And it's kind of cloudy, but not really, really dirty. But like I said, the other videos I saw, that guy just sprinkled the crap out of that in there. So I might shake a little more in, and we'll go a second time. And I may also go ahead and put in the rest of the stuff I didn't put in the first time, which I don't know why I didn't. Fear of the unknown, maybe. I was thinking that we didn't want all this different stuff in there, but I don't think it's going to make much difference. It'll do its job. Yeah. But we need to wait now because duty cycle, we're supposed to wait 20 minutes. 5:18 was when it quit. It's now 5:23, so I'm going to let it go a while. Yeah. Anyway, we will revisit it after another go. So I'm waiting here for this, my time to come back around so I can go again. because it says let it rest 20 minutes. But seeing this white powdery substance in this spork bottle made me think of a funny story that happened several years back. It was one of those things where maybe I've told this story before, but the innocent chain of events made it look like something a lot worse than it was. And the first piece of the puzzle was my grandma was getting to where she couldn't really get around and do things and whatever. Well, she called my dad and she wanted, like, I want to say she wanted some flour or something, or sugar. I think it was sugar. She wanted some sugar. She said we didn't have enough sugar. Could she just borrow some? So my dad filled up a good size, I mean, I don't know if it's a gallon or whatever it was, like Ziploc bag full of this sugar, and brought it over, and we just set it on the table, you know, because it was about dinner time, and, you know, not going to put this away right now, we'll do it later. So this bag of sugar is sitting on the table, plus something like this, it was like a random spoon or something that was laid out on the table because she was cooking at the same time, and the table wasn't set yet. So there's this bag of sugar and a spoon sitting on the table. So that's event one. Well, here just maybe 10 minutes later or so, or however long, in drives one of these traveling gate salesmen. I don't know if you have those in your area, but they come around with a truck that's just hung full of different size gates and types and whatever, and they try to sell it to you, you know. And usually it's more expensive than if you drive into the farm store, but, you know, they come to you, so that's worth something. And they like to haggle over the price. Well, he came up and knocked on the door, and I went out there and was talking to him on the porch, and you know, I basically said right away, I don't think I have any use. Well, he was facing the house and facing me, and all at once he did like a 360, and he never would turn around again. The whole time he was talking to me, he was, you know, staring out the driveway, and I kept thinking, what is this guy's problem? Because he started acting really weird, and I said, you know, what? He said, well, I don't want to bother you. He said, I'll go, I'll leave, and whatever. And I thought, this is, you know, weird. He got in the truck and backed out just as fast as he could, and I thought, what's this guy's problem, you know? And pieces were falling off the truck, like gate hinges and stuff in the driveway, and he was just like, don't worry about it, I'm gonna go. And I thought, you know, what is it? Well, when I walked back into the house, went to open the door and looked through the window, you could see that giant bag of powder and this spoon on the table, and I have a feeling that he thought he like walked into some drug situation or something, and he was afraid he knew too much and he was gonna get, you know, knocked off or something. But I got a chuckle out of that, because I thought, what in the world is this guy's problem? He did like a complete turnaround in his attitude and everything, and the only thing I can figure is he saw a giant bag of powder, he didn't know what it was, and all it was is a bunch of sugar that Grandma borrowed because she didn't have enough to bake her cake or whatever she was doing. So anyway, amusing story, maybe not to some people, but I thought it was funny looking back. So yeah, I think we're getting pretty close now to our time, so we may just let this run another cycle. I got all the parts put in there, and yeah, we'll see what it turns out like when we're done. All right, somebody came over, so I wasn't here. I don't know how long it's been that it's been off, but it is supposed to hold temperature the whole time. It'll cycle on and off the heat. But anyway, our water looks a lot more murky this time, so I bet the stuff is cleaner. All right, I did not film putting all this stuff in, but what a big difference. This spring was a ball of rust. All these little hardware pieces, I think it definitely improved them. They've only been through one cycle, naturally. There's our brass bottom end nut. It had a bunch of rust in it. I think we're I think we did really good on that. And it may be that this powder reacts better to certain materials better than others, because look there, it did some cleaning there. It's strange that it did that, but it didn't do the whole bracket that same way. Maybe it's because it was thicker scale on that. It really cleaned that up nice, the brass rod. Alright, well, we're going to perhaps categorize some stuff, and maybe when we put the body of the carburetor in, we will, you know what I'm saying, do more with some of these pieces, like another go round. Yeah, I think we got us something here. I'm getting carried away though, because that's not, the carburetor pieces were not the main focus of testing this. It was that clock motor. So we're going to check that out. I'm pretty sure we got this project licked. Yeah, it turns just beautiful, I think. So, yeah, that's pretty nifty. Alright, so overall, I would have to say that this thing is a rousing success so far. I'm really happy with, I mean, it freed up this clock motor, which would not go at all. It's very, very stiff, and now it's enough where I feel like it's gonna run. So that's pretty cool. Not clock motor, but I guess you would call this the clock works. You know, the motor goes to the back of it. I'll show you what I did with that in the clock video when we get back to that. But yeah, I think I'm ready to tackle the whole carburetor body, and so we'll probably do that in the carburetor video. So as far as this goes, I think that this is a good buy. It was only like $170 or so, and for all that you get with it, I mean, it's working. And I think that's what you want, so I can't complain. I mean, it took off a lot of nastiness and shined things up, and so yeah, maybe you need to run through more than one cycle if it's really nasty stuff, but I think it saves a lot of hours of scraping and sadness. So yeah, all in all, I'd say it's a good buy. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.